Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I am a healer posting spiritual content here on the channel. And today's video is a reading where we are turning to spirit and we are asking for guidance, for insight, perspective, whatever spirit wants to share with us today. What lessons do you have for us today, spirit? We have an overall energy of heart transmission. Interesting. Wow, that's really beautiful. And heart transmission is a card that talks about working with higher consciousness, working with groups also in general. So it is a card that really does talk about how we have love in our hearts and we have certain things that we love that we are innately drawn to. And what Spirit wants to talk about is this ability to use what we love for the greater good, to work with groups, to work with certain soul consciousness. We're going to draw some more cards to see how that wants to come through. But there's the notion of that what we love is beneficial on a higher level. It's awesome for us. It does wonderful things for us. It brings in passion. It brings in um, drive. It lights up our life. But there's also a greater perspective to it the spirit wants to bring in. So we've got the star, major arcana number 17. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it right there. And we've got the 8 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Okay, so the star is talking about destiny, right? Who we're destined to be. So what we love is very much connected into that destiny. We live out our destiny by following what we love. What we love is a kind of navigational tool for that. But in this star, in this representation of the star, you see how there's one cup here and another there. She's standing in the flow. So this is also talking about how what we love, following what we love, can help us to find a space in the world, a function to perform in the world, so that we follow our purpose, arrive at a function, at something we do, a place in which we fit in the grander scheme of things. Just like stars fit in the sky, each has its own place. We can find that place, and from there, we can start building very beautiful things. We can start putting out our contributions, and it's even that it's who we are, that love within us that just grows and evolves and comes into fruition. It's a natural process. We do what we love, and then we naturally create beautiful things, valuable things, precious things that will be divinely protected, will be received by the universe, divinely protected. And if you see this flower, yes, it comes from the plant itself, but it is nurtured by the soil, by the light, by water coming from the sky. So there's also a lot of universal support to help us to co-create these beautiful things with us. Wow. I love doing these readings. That was awesome, Spirit. Tell us more. Tell us more. And Spirit is saying this is a perspective that Spirit wants us to adopt in our lives. We are talking about, again, what we love. But what we love can be a cup of coffee. It could be a dress. It could be a person. It could be a place. There's lots of ways. And fundamentally, it's going to be all of those things. We love a lot. And we are intended to. So we've got 3 of Swords here. And this is the After Tarot. We have got Major Arcana number 13, the Death card. We have got the Ace of Pentacles, and we got the 7 of Swords. So very challenging energies, actually. But again, it's the After Tarot, so the meanings change a little bit. So the 3 of Swords is talking about a denial of the heart. We have here a heart that's bandaged. And this is Spirit saying that on some level, in some ways, there are things that we love where we will have experienced denial of those things. So this is unrequited love, for example. But again, it can also be very small things. It can be, loving chocolate. It's not really good for us. Or loving a product that isn't getting produced anymore. But there are lots of different levels, but it's talking about the denial of that love. And with the death card, the death card is often a card that comes up to me, and it talks about implosion. So the pulling back of energy. When you pull back energy from something, it dies, it falls away. And so these 2 cards together are talking about how the lessons that we've been through about how we loved and it didn't work out, have allowed us to learn how to place our love. And so if you can think back to your life where you will have difficult experiences, and again, it can be something very big, but also something very small. If this product is discontinued, you find something else to love. That's what this is talking about. It's a transformation. It's an ongoing journey. Loving is not, it's not that, oh, what I don't love, I don't have anymore. It's more that, oh, what I love maybe changes, transforms. I love in different ways, but also that it allows me to move towards something else. And I'm seeing this card in a different light because it is the after tarot. You see how there's all of these diseased people who have succumbed to something that is dysfunctional. And this is the death card, riding away, moving away from that. So it's also spirit saying that what we love also brings the transformation of allowing us to move away from diseased, dysfunctional dynamics, engagement, situations, and circumstances, and really into a whole new way of life, a whole new way of creating, a whole new way of experiencing. Again, if that product got discontinued, whatever you're going to find is going to be better in some way, shape, or form. And there's kind of a universal guarantee to that. And the Seven of Swords is talking about how we may think that we're moving away from it, but we're always gonna get caught up by what we love. Appearances are always going to be deceiving, but it's always going to be a core of love there at the heart of it. Tell us more, Spirit. I'm not quite sure where this is going. But you started in this way for purpose, so we're going to keep going and see where we go. We have the sun. Okay. Again, that's a pretty good place to go. Major Arcana number 19. We've got the Two of Swords. I see it. Plain as day. Nine of Swords. Okay. I see it. I see it. Nine of Cups. Okay. What I'm going to say is that I feel like this energy is here. It will be an energy, if you're drawn to this reading, it's an energy that's present in your life, but maybe you haven't really seized upon it, like fully seen it, and that's what this reading is speaking to. These dynamics are there. The death card is also representing the end of an age, the end of an era, and it is true that we individually, but also collectively, are moving away from a space where denial of the heart, denial of what we want and what we want to experience was commonplace. It was just normal. It was kind of expected. It was how things were going to go. But we're moving out of that. And with the Sun card, this is Spirit talking about how we're living in an era and a time where happiness is so much more valued and is so much more considered to be what success is, at least in how we speak and how we talk and the narratives that we have and how we share. It's not necessarily structurally, societally, the way that we live, but happiness is so much more important. And we have to think about humanity in a larger sense where, thousands of years ago, people didn't even really have a sense of ego. The Buddha came in and had to explain to people you have an ego because people identified according to their clan, their position in life, maybe their occupation, those kinds of things. And so the notion of happiness, for example, you married for your family, you married for the distribution of wealth and so on, and to keep the concentration of wealth rather. And so there are all of these other dynamics that used to be prioritized in life, but now with this energy, there's the sun, there's the happiness, and you see how the sun is just reigning over the material realm, material reality. And the sun does represent spiritual energy, but the notion that's coming in is spirit saying is the happiness is more important to every single person on this planet than it ever has been before. Doesn't mean every single person, but more than ever before. But with the Two of Swords, it doesn't mean that we know how to go about it. It doesn't mean that we know how to be happy. Like if I said to you right now, live happily. Right now, would you know how? With the Nine of Swords, it's talking about how there really are a lot of obstacles in our way. And Nine of Swords is the ideas that we have about ourselves. The nine for me is self-directed energy. So this is talking about oh, do I even deserve to be happy? But I did this one time and this one time, and there are all these things in our way. But basically, it's like we have to battle demons before we can even consider that kind of happiness, that kind of life. But with the Nine of Cups, that's the answer at the end of the day. It's happiness we give ourselves. It starts with the ability to be fulfilled within ourselves. Meaning that also in how we're talking about this, you're not going to find a world that goes, yes, let me help you and support you in being happy. Even as much as we say that that's important, structurally there are going to be dynamics, other people's beliefs, other people's understanding, our own beliefs, our own wounding, our own stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the way. So ultimately, to be happy, we have to decide ourselves that that's what we're going to give ourselves, that we're going to give ourselves this kind of happiness. So we have the Three of Cups, Major Arcana number 18, the Moon, the Stars, the Moon, and the Sun. Okay, we got an Ace of Swords. And we've got Major Arcana number 16, the Tower. So just in terms of progression and soul level energy, which is what the Major Arcana represents to me, we have got number 16, number 17, number 18, and number 19 in the house. So again, in the term of progression. So this does talk about evolution. And now this last layer here is going to really bring this message home with the Three of Cups. Spirit is saying, look, you're intended to live this life and again, enjoy it, right? Enjoy yourself, have fun in this life. Have the very best experience that you can have, but you have to recognize that in this life it's mysterious. The path to do that is mysterious, but actually also the path of following your heart and the path of this happiness is soul level energy. Okay, so that's why we're talking about the soul progression. It's a soul level path, meaning it's not a path of personal development. Personal development, yes, it could be things like contentment and satisfaction and developing that. But the level of this level of happiness the Spirit is talking about, the level of following your heart and birthing these kinds of creations and co-creating this with the universe, we are talking about soul level growth and evolution. We are talking about a higher level that requires spiritual energy. And so the road to that is going to be mysterious. So that the happiness and the fulfillment that we're talking about is not necessarily something you can arrive at like that. Instead, with the Ace of Swords, it's a new clarity that you have to create for yourself. You have to become very clear about, first of all, wanting that kind of happiness, that level of happiness. And then you have to be willing with the Tower. You have to be willing for the transformation that will ensue. Because as the Death card talks about, it is about moving away from old forms of fulfillment, old experiences, old beliefs, old ways in which we, have allowed our hearts to get locked or dissatisfied, old situations that we have put our energy in that were detrimental to our heart, painful to our heart, that just weren't good for us overall. But again, there's the need to just shift and change and transform, and that's not easy. That's not straightforward. There's going to be some, broken eggs. To make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. To get that kind of happiness, you have to break certain things. So tell us more, please, Spirit. Let's get 3 cards. We've got Crystal Ascension. I'm attuned to the universal wisdom and energy of the Crystal Kingdom. I'm laughing because that's the energy ascension. And you see how everything is dark around her? There's an ascension out of the status quo. There's an ascension out of an old way of doing things. We've got the Healer. I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. And then finally, we've got the Present. I fully experience the moment of my life. I fully experience every moment of my life living in the present. Yeah. Okay. So the Healer is talking about a process and a journey, but it's coming through as the healer, not as healing, because it's about managing that process and that journey. It's about taking ownership of what is here and what is ahead and what needs to be. So that the Crystal Ascension is talking about a dynamic that's happening all over the planet. The energies are here. The energies are here for us to shift into this where we're living out our happiness more than ever before. Spirit is here to support us, to co-create it with us, but we need to be showing up in that process, taking the reins and directing it. So we need to be though actively engaged and involved in this healing process. And with the present, it's talking about how it has to start here and now. There is no putting it off till tomorrow. I'll start healing tomorrow. I'll start healing later. Because anything that you put off in any single area of our lives where we put off healing, where we don't do what we need to do in order to heal, we're basically not aware of the need to heal, right? So it's like if you're smoking a cigarette, for example, and then you go, well, I'll quit tomorrow. Then the fact that you're smoking it, it means that you're not aware of what you're doing to your body in that moment. And if you were aware of what you were doing to your body in that moment, you would just stop. You would just quit. There's a, fully experiencing. It's through the experience. We have to fully experience what it means to be without that epic level of happiness to want it. We have to fully experience that epic level of happiness to know its value. So it also plays out on both sides. Then we've got fire passion. There you go. And we've got green man synergy. Yeah. Spirit is saying, okay, the road is really easy. So you have to be in awareness, yes, but at the same time, the road is really easy and it's been seeded inside of you, and it is whatever you're passionate about, whatever you love. We come back to that original message. Whatever you love, whatever has value for you, meaning for you, what is true for you, that is the roadmap. That is what you invest in order to make this shift and this change and this transformation. In a simpler way, it would be to say that when you are in this state of happiness, what you do is what you love. You do what you love all day, every day, in every single moment, and there are no you don't compromise on that, right? Back to that energy of the present. Why would you spend a single moment of your life not doing what you love? And it's more complex than that. I would say from experience is that, for example, it's about the way that spirit leads you is not to turn you into some big egoistic monster who has to live out their preferences in every single moment. But what you love is value based. So I love being kind. I love being generous. I love being honest. I love being true. And when you become passionate about living your life at that level, basically at having a very high frequency, then that's what shifts your reality and you start living that out all the time. And then you, of course, get to live out your preferences more than not. But even if you have to do something that you would prefer not to do, something that you don't enjoy, you're still going to love doing it because you're going to love being of integrity in that situation and circumstance. You're going to love being responsible. You're going to love being you, being true. And that's what spirit is. I'm just laughing because that message would come to me so many times where spirit would be like, be passionate about being you, be passionate about yourself, about your life, and the rest will follow. Because green man synergy is that the universe is going to meet that level of passion. Synergy happens when different elements come together and they work together to create an outcome greater than either could create on their own. And what spirit is saying is that you have no idea how the universe is going to react to your synergy here and now. When you're watching this reading, it may not have happened in 2022, it may not have happened in 2021, in 2008, whenever, right? But we are living in a time now and onwards where the whole universe is calling on the human race to step into this space, is co-creating this kind of awakening in humanity. So you're going to find a tremendous amount of support for you to shift and for you to make this transformation, because once again, you living in this way is more than just for you. It is for the collective also. It has a massive and very, very important collective effect that cannot be overstated, that should not be understated, and certainly that should not be abandoned. It's something that we are being invited to really pick up on, that living in this high frequency state of happiness is something that is so transformative for us, but also for humanity and for our world. So that was the reading. Takeaway, we've got kindness. There we go. Be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. No act of kindness is ever wasted. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Yes, that's really it. And that's again those values, those core values, and how it's about aiming to live in a way that is transcendent. transcendent. It is beyond the everyday run of the mill, what everybody else does. It is transcendent, and that will never, ever, ever be wasted. So, love, that was your reading. That was our reading. Thank you so much for watching. I am sending you lots of love. If you enjoyed this reading, then please subscribe, because many more will be coming in flow. And if you subscribe, you're never going to miss one, that's for sure. And then if you are interested in me and curious about my work, I put the links in the description box. Thank you for watching. Sending you lots and lots and lots of love. May you be blessed always and in always. And so it is. Bye.